All right, welcome to an all-new episode of Figure It Out, the show where we talk about figures and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. I'm your host, Juwaan, and as always, I'm joined with Jaydee. What's going on, Jaydee?
What's up, Juwaan? How we doing, brother?
I'm super excited to talk Transformers. I know this was huge for us. This might be our favorite episode since the G.I. Joe one that we first did together.
Okay, all right.
Like, I know there's Transformers is definitely special to us three for sure. And definitely last but definitely not least, Pete, what's going on, Pete?
What's up, buddies? What's up, everybody? I'm ready, man. I got my Starscream shirt on.
Yeah. I love it.
Inappropriately.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've been looking forward to this like since we first started this show.
Nice.
Hey, you know what? Let me say
Juan, you hit mute.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Can you not hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, you scared
That's
me.
why I can't hear you.
Get it up.
Yeah, I'm sitting here and you got me scared. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
That's what I get for putting an extension cord in so I could actually have some freedom of movement, and I stepped on the stupid thing.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody.
No,
I've
you're
been
good.
there.
I was gonna say I love that you have that shirt on because it was him and Destro that were my first introductions to like henchmen.
Mhm.
Like, you know, the big
Oh, Destro was not a henchman. Oh,
okay.
Oh,
Sorry, not a henchman.
Jay's getting offended.
Number two.
Yeah.
Strong number two. He was a strong number two. I'm sorry. He was a strong number two. You know what it is, JD? Let me apologize. You know what it is? Since Power Rangers was like my first introduction to everything, I view the power structure like Zed, Rita, and then Goldar being the henchman. So I always viewed it as like yeah, hold on. I got my
You know, I wonder if it's a matter of opinion here. Like, I bet you Cobra Commander thinks Destro is his henchman.
Oh.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So then how does Serpentor see Cobra Commander?
As what he actually said it in one of the episodes. I don't remember which one, but he said something to the effect of "Go back to being an obedient lackey."
Nice.
I love Serpentor, man. Serpentor is my guy. I know he gets a lot of hate, but I love it. Nice, the 6-incher.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We're pulling out 6 inches.
This show's about to go wrong.
That's messed up, guys. You know what I mean? We're going 6 inches here. Now you got me looking. You can keep talking. Keep talking. I'll be back.
It's all right, Jay. I'm pretty ill-equipped myself.
Oh man! All right, hold on. We got Jay here.
All right. Since we went back. Oh, this is a very nice actor's photo of our new guest. Right. So we're going 6 inches. Right. So Juwaan, I see your Destro 6 inches.
That's
right?
the one I have. That's the one.
Yes. And I match you, Pimp Daddy Destro.
Pimp Daddy Destro.
Oh yeah. I could have gotten that one. I love the money being on fire.
Yeah, the money on fire is great. I love it. And then not to leave anything else out, I guess we might as well throw in, our new retro Destro.
Nice.
From the Walmart exclusive.
You know, to me, there's something about Destro that automatically means briefcase. Every figure of Destro is like, you threw in the briefcase, right? All right, we're good.
I think
that's why I like Destro
cartoon.
and Starscream, right? They had an ulterior motive, but Destro was just all about the money, baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? Pay me. That's it.
You know what? And Jay, let's welcome in Jay Sandlin. How you doing, Jay?
How you doing, Jay?
What's up, buddy?
What's up? I'm a dumbass. I was trying to type the Zoom access meeting on my cell phone to join you.
We've already started to show off on a wonky note, so that's just...
wonk wonk.
Yeah,
it's all good. It's all
I
good.
stepped on my headphone plug. It's just one of them days.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Starscream and Destro. And you know what? You know why I take that back and I apologize for calling Destro a
yes, thank you.
Because no, I seriously do apologize. mainly because one thing I've always respected about Destro and Starscream, if there is even a slight opportunity to overthrow Cobra Commander or Megatron, they were taking it. That's not what a lackey does. That's what a number 2
Right.
wants to be number 1 does.
See, but dude, besides that, right? We're throwing out all the Destro stops, right? Destro didn't overthrow him. He just said fuck it, and he made his own. You know what I'm
That
saying,
is
bro?
true, yeah.
He took care of business, man. He
You're
was like,
absolutely right.
I'm not making enough money here with this bitch. Let me do my own fucking thing.
But
So
he
wait,
would
how do
turn
you-
on him in a heartbeat, though. Remember when they were doing the trial of Cobra Commander, and it was like Destro will defend me. He's like, I would call Cobra Commander a world-class buffoon.
Yes. Yes.
So wait, how do you view, because I already know before asking you, I view her differently. How do you view Baroness, Jaydee?
Oh, as the ultimate sly fox. She knew how to play her cards, bro.
Mm-hmm.
She was never going to reveal her hand until she knew who had the upper hand. And then she sided with that to save her own skin.
Before we
Nice,
get into
nice.
Transformers, I do want to say, I will not argue that movie was god awful, but I really did like the actress that played Baroness in that original, not original.
What's her name? Sienna Miller.
Yes.
I
Yes.
enjoyed her a lot. I really did.
Yes. You got to see her in Alfie. Hot. Ooh.
And you know what? I still stand on this. Channing Tatum wasn't a bad casting. It's just he wasn't at that time a strong actor, and the writing was piss poor.
It was a terrible story.
Yeah, it's like you're not helping him at all. He's grown to be a really good actor now.
Okay.
But when that came out, was not a good actor, and that writing did not help him whatsoever. So I was like, he just got a bad break, but that was not a horrible casting. Like, that's the guy.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know who Brendan Fraser was? Was he supposed to be the Sergeant Slaughter? Was he supposed to be, one of the higher lieutenants?
That was like because it was the same director as The Mummy. He was supposed to be the great grandson of Brendan Fraser's character in The Mummy.
Really?
Yes, that was like a little fan service thing.
That's insane.
Okay.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I thought was amazing as
No.
Commander. No. What they decided to do with him was bad, but I thought
I think that's the problem. Is the castings themselves were good. It was just like you said, what they decided to do with
The
them,
execution.
You had him the whole movie as basically Dr. Mindbender, and then he just turns all around and puts the faceplate on, like, you can call me Commander. No.
It was not
right.
And like, now that we've seen Endgame and we've seen a catchphrase pay off, saying "Go Joe" the way they did in that G.I. Joe movie was just like, you didn't deserve that. No. That was so.
I don't know why. What was the problem with Yo Joe? But that's
Because
a whole other discussion.
They honestly forced it. It was just like, I don't know. It was just. No. Anyway.
The Rock as Roadblock was a great choice.
Absolutely.
But the other guy is Heavy Duty, and I don't want to say his name because I don't want to butcher his name. I know the middle name was Akimbe, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
So I don't want to destroy his name, but him as Heavy Duty, that didn't work for me, man. Heavy Duty wasn't a big enough character. You want to bring in a character of color with G.I. Joe, something like that. You bring in Alpine. Alpine for me had more gravitas than or Doc.
Yeah.
More gravitas than Heavy Duty did.
Hey, Jaydee, question for you. Do you know if this is true or not? Shad Jasper of WWE fame, the late Shad.
Yes, remember.
Was allegedly up for the role of Roadblock before it was increased and made for The Rock more so.
Really? I didn't know that at all.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying Shad spoke on that before he passed away because he left WWE somewhere around 2011, 2012, maybe. If that time.
But did he have the acting chops?
Well, he was trying to get into acting, but the role apparently in the original script for Roadblock was very different. More of maybe more of a background, like powerhouse type guy, which someone probably said, wouldn't The Rock be great? And then that resulted in script rewrites, heavy rewrites, because Roadblock can't be, if it's going to be The Rock, you got to get your money's, you got to
damn right. He's an A-list talent. Yeah.
I mean, I was shocked that within the first 20 minutes, they were like, hey, you guys know this character Duke that we built up in the first movie? Yeah, dead. it's just like, whoa, hold on, what? Like,
there's lots of movies that do that, though. I mean, to be fair, but yeah, most famous, I think the Triple X sequel that did that with Ice Cube and Vin Diesel with the death at the beginning.
To me, Jay, I just kind of feel like if you're gonna do that, it has to be earned, because I feel like people that didn't grow up on G.I. Joe or could care less about G.I. Joe, seeing Duke die right there just meant nothing to them. It was just like, okay, all right, whatever. Right. You know, it meant something to us because it was just like, why would you do that? It's second movie in, and you're already just like.
For the record, it still didn't mean anything to me. I was hoping he died back in the movie.
I'll say this, dude. I didn't like the Transformers movie, but I like the Transformers movies a ton better than any of the G.I. Joe flicks.
Very fair. I still believe that one scene in Retaliation where Snake Eyes is fighting Storm Shadow in like the mountains.
That was a great sequence. Yes, with Jinx.
Yeah, I loved it. All right, let's get into. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say RZA as the silent master, as the blind master. It deserves to be said again and again. It was the ultimate casting.
Yep.
You know, I don't got a prime, but I got that figure. I have the RZA as the silent master.
Yep. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk some Transformers. We're gonna start off with some of our favorite Transformers figures. Mine, I unfortunately do not have. I will say this: if you guys are gonna yell at me like you did in the last few episodes, Transformers with me were something I never wanted as a toy, because I always felt like, and I feel like it's gotten more difficult now. It's always difficult to, once you got it into like, you know, the robot, I felt like it was almost damn near impossible to get it perfectly back as the vehicle. So to me, it would just be like, all right, well, I never only want it as a truck or only as a robot. I want to be able to go back and forth. So I said, if I got to go through all that, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't want it. My mom used to go, you sure you don't want your? I don't want it. I don't want to have to go through all that. So
the playtime of transforming them just took too long, you know.
You know what I compare it to, Jaydee? I compare it to any time you ask someone like if they like crab legs and they're like, I don't want to go through all the cracking and pulling it out. Like, just give it to me already out.
There we go.
Transformers were my crab legs for damn sure.
Gotcha. Nice.
But the only Transformers I remember I had that I got a lot of use out of is, I believe, when McDonald's did their run of Beast Wars for the Happy Meal toys, because you didn't really have to do much. It was just like you kind of like peeled the head back of like the gorilla and it was like Optimus or whatever. So to me, I kind of just went with that. But as much as I love Transformers, I do regret I didn't give the toys a little bit more time of day when I was growing up. But Jay, I'll actually start off with you.
Sweet.
Do you remember some of your favorite Transformers figures?
I do, actually. So I got my first one at Walmart, and this was before our town had a Walmart supercenter. So this was just Walmart with no grocery store and no electronics department. This was just Walmart. And I went into the toys, you know, it depended on how much cash my mom was carrying that day, because, you know, we didn't have the debit cards at that point. Your mom had to bring the cash. And I got a Bumblebee figure, and I think the edition was like I think they had come out with like some chrome editions of some of the characters.
I do remember that. Yes.
Because it was a very gold
Cliff Jumper,
gold
shiny version.
It was a gold bug edition. Yep. Yeah. Gold bug. So I got that one. And then I got another one that was just cheap as hell. And this is kind of a cool story because it's been my first and my last figure. We got back. I lost that some point, who knows where. We got back together. I did a comic book signing just in March of 2020, the week before COVID restrictions went in Nashville at Rick's Comics and Games. Shout out to Rick's. And they were selling some classic Transformers in the bins. And I was looking through them and I found my old figure, and it was the Tank Man Blast.
Tank Man Blast.
A tank by the name of Blast. I don't know that he was like a big character, or if it was just a character they made to fill out the ranks, or you know, we know with Transformers it was several different toy lines kind of bastardized into one.
Yeah.
So
And they did a lot of redecos too, Jay. You know, to save on molding and stuff like that. Like the Inferno, right? He was the red fire engine. He was Hoist as the yellow support truck. He was I forgot what the blue one was, but they modified him to be the big combiner for the protector bots.
Yes.
So
yes, if anyone remembers Tank, or if anyone remembers a Tank, I believe his name was Blast, and I had him. I liked him because he was very simple.
Okay. Yeah.
You pressed one button and the arms and the head popped up, and then you pushed him back down, and that was all you had to do. He was almost like GoBots level.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Throwing shade, you know. Well, that was good when you're 4 years old, you know.
I was about to say, see, that's the equivalent of pre-cracked crabs. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
I would have got into Transformers toys more.
He was Transformers for dummies.
Right, exactly.
I needed that.
I needed that. No, I mean, I like the idea of the designs of a lot of the Transformers. I thought, for as bad as those movies were, I thought some of the figures they designed for those weren't bad. You know, especially Bumblebee. I always enjoy Bumblebee, so you know, that's my soft spot. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was just the idea of getting it into the robot and then just being so proud of yourself, and then going, damn, I want you to drive now, and then trying to get everything back. Like, where does the head go? It's just Pete, I'm gonna pass it to you. What were some of your favorite Transformers figures?
I'm right there with you, man. I mean, the amount of times that I repeated the sound of transforming in my head as I'm sitting there fiddling with the things and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's an absolute nightmare. I still remember my first ones. They were Christmas gifts, and it was Dirge, who was one of they called them the Coneheads. That was the second generation Seekers. And it wasn't Hoist, Jay. It was Grapple. That was the yellow the truck that was Inferno. I don't remember who the blue one was, but I remember it. I had the combiner, but I don't remember the name of it. But my favorite of all favorites will definitely go to G1 Shockwave, because it was just, you know, I never had laser tag as a kid, but so that was like the closest we could get, a photon, as it were, I think at the time. And, you know, I was so upset when I got the Masterpiece one later on, it was like sometime earlier last year, and you know, he lights up, but he doesn't make the damn sound. I'm like, this ain't Shockwave, yo. Like, I need the noise. Do the noise, man. And I got I'm going opposite here. The figures down here in the case, there's the original Shockwave. My other two, the ones where you would pull them back and just like kind of let them go, and they would flip up. It was Top Spin and Twin Twist. And I got a G1 Optimus Prime that I had to pick up later on in life, because I never had an Optimus Prime when I was a kid. I had to wait for Power Master Optimus Prime, like the second or third year in. And a G1 Megatron, which you can't even get anymore because they need to have the little red nippy on it, which is stupid because you ruined a $400 toy, which I think it's going for now. I think I paid $80 for that years ago on eBay. Totally, you know, complete and everything. Right. Before this collector's craze, before the collector's craze really went through the roof. Yeah, those were my favorites growing up. Now, I mean, I've got a bit of a Masterpiece collection, and that's where all the stimmy checks went to.
That Masterpiece collection, that's money. I know how much you spent on that, bro. God bless
love them, but at the same time, Juwaan, I have to echo it again. You know, depending on how they arrive in the box, like some of the bigger ones, they come already transformed in robot mode, and I'm like, your ass is staying right there. I ain't even fucking with you. And you know, some of the cars, like I got a Sunstreaker here, and I'm like, you know, I turned 40 this year, and there's no way I was going to afford a Lamborghini, but I could afford a robot that turned into one. But
the simple things in life, Pete.
Yeah, man,
that's how you do it, baby.
I ain't even bothering to transform his ass, because he came out and like one of the little panels on the hood was a little loose, and I squeezed it back together, and I'm like, and that's where he's staying. I will keep those in car mode. I don't need all of them.
No, see my point exactly. I'm with you, man. It's a car. That's it. No one will ever know that you're a Transformer. You are a car forever.
But because he was my first, I did have to get the Masterpiece Grapple, and I really
that's
solid figure, man.
Sweet
really
look one. Yeah.
They did. Let me also give Transformers a lot of credit with their figures. They do a really good job blending it to where the chest piece, that's obviously like the front bumper, isn't so protrusive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, to the figure. They do a really, really, really good job with that. Jaydee, I want to ask you. I was talking to a few people in preparation for this show about what their favorite Transformers figures were, or the Transformers figures they had. You know, not one of them told me they had an Optimus Prime. Do you think Optimus might have been a little like too known to where people were just like, that's easy to get. Let me get the other ones that maybe people don't know about, or is, you know, more of a rarity, because Optimus you can literally find everywhere. Do you think Optimus was kind of susceptible to that, of just being too popular?
No, and Optimus was the He-Man. You know what I mean? Optimus was the selling point of the brand. You needed him in almost every wave that came out. Optimus was a Christmas gift for me. So he was it. I really loved Optimus because he was a big transformer and he was an easy transform. Yeah. You know, you just fold the legs out from underneath, the hands pop out from the headlights, and then you flip the head open. There he goes. You know, I kind of wish he had the little wheelie like he did in the cartoon. You know, the smaller car that went into the back of the rig. Roller, excuse me. Yes, that would have been cool. My favorite though was it was a tie between Soundwave, because popping out those cassettes was awesome, and you were able to at least keep one cassette in his chest. You know, Laserbeak was an easy transform. Soundwave was an easy transform. You knew there was something else when you were a kid. You knew there was something up with him, because there was a compartment in his back that it seemed like you could put batteries in there, but you couldn't put anything in there. You couldn't, I mean, you could maybe put that weird arrow gun that he had, but it felt like batteries were supposed to go in there, and it came from something else. So that was the first indication that Transformers came from someplace else. Right. But aside from that, dude, I've always been a fan of Corvettes, and Trax was one of my favorites. It was this blue Corvette with a red face and a white helmet. And the cartoon, he had a Puerto Rican sidekick, you know, being a Puerto Rican descent. I was like, oh my God, they made that for me, you know? And you were able to just flip out little wings underneath his wheels. And in the cartoon, that's what made him fly, you know, not aerodynamic in real life at all, but those little wings that popped out were money in the bank. But going to what Jay said, you know, some of the earlier ones, the small ones, like the Bumblebees, the Cliff Jumpers, you know, Cosmos, Warpath, who was one of the other tanks that I remember. I don't know if you remember, Jay. He had the Southern voice, and he had the big turret that came out his chest when he transformed. Those smaller pieces, they were a hell of a lot easier to transform than some of the big ones. I had Jazz, and if you're not a fan of Scatman Carruthers, you know, I mean, if you are, you needed Jazz, right? But transformed him back into the Porsche, I snapped off his arm. And I was like, oh, I fucking ruined, you know, one of the most beautiful Porsches I've seen in my life. You know, Transformers were cool. The hardest transform I ever got was in the late 90s, early 2000s, Transformers reset. But it was coming around the time of Beast Wars, but there was still the vehicles. And Optimus Prime was a big red fire engine, and Ultra Magnus was still the big car trailer. Dude, you were able to combine both of them into this great big robot called Omega Prime, and it was fucking amazing, dude. Like Optimus kept that Beast Convoy look, where the stripe came down his chest, you know, it almost looked like he was wearing a sash. And when you transformed, I think Ultra Magnus was the base, because Optimus Prime's head came out of Ultra Magnus's chest when they became Omega Prime, and that was an awesome fucking piece. I still got him. He runs for some bank on the secondary market. I think each piece runs for like $100 each, but he's all beat up, man. You transform him so many times, and then you combine them so many times, those joints really didn't stand the test of time.
That is for sure. Joel, what were some of your favorite Transformers figures?
Well, they're not going to be popular answers, but again, I grew up with collecting Beast Wars Transformers. Actually, the funny story, I wanted to bring one out so I could show you guys, but I couldn't find where they were. So I spent like an hour looking for them, and like before I had to go to class, I found it, but like it's gonna take me forever to dig out that. I have like a file cabinet full of Beast Wars toys on top and comic books on the bottom. Eventually, I will dig it out and I will show you maybe once a week every toy I have. But it's gonna take me a little bit.
I'm coming over next week and I'm gonna see them myself. Don't worry.
I love that. I used to do every couple months. I would literally open it up, grab all my Beast Wars, put them on my bed, and transform them. And I it took me forever, but I did it. I transformed them from their beast mode to their robot form and then back to their beast mode. I preferred them in their beast mode anyway, so that's usually how I did it. And I did that for a while, but then obviously I just stopped. But my favorite, that's a tough one because it's been so long. You know what's funny though? I don't have, but just like you were saying, Optimus Prime. A lot of people don't have that. I don't have Optimus Primal, the original gorilla.
Yeah.
And I want him because I don't have. I have the original before that. I have he was originally a bat, not a gorilla. He was a bat, and then in Megatron was an alligator or whatever the fuck. I have them too, but I don't have the new when they became a gorilla and a T-Rex. So I do want. That's why when you guys were talking about the Optimus, like not Optimus Primal, I want it because I don't have. I never had the original gorilla Optimus Primal, so I really really want that one. And I'm trying to think. I have I do have Optimal Optimus though. And now Optimal Optimus is weird because he was like, when they were past the Transmetal phase, they weren't even animals anymore. This fucker is like a classic Transformer, and he's huge. I'll show you guys one day. He is huge, and he has like 3 different forms. I'll tell you right now, I probably can't transform him. But Optimal Optimus was a monster, and I have another one called, I forget his name, but he was like a stingray, really cool.
Yeah,
really cool.
I'm looking at right now because as soon as you said that, I went to Amazon immediately to see like if I can find it. All I found was like the Megatron one. Like it's the T-Rex, and then you have to transform it. It would always be a T-Rex for me. But the Optimus ones, they look a little wonky. Like they don't look as good as that Megatron one did. But then I looked at like the Optimus ones are like 40, 30, 50. That Megatron one that I told you just looks like pristine, that's $600 on Amazon.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
you gotta, if you got the scratch, may I suggest buying the Masterpiece Optimus Primal.
Oh,
that is an awesome figure, plus the little accessories. I think I mentioned this on a previous show. It comes with the Matrix of Leadership on a chain. You can throw it around his neck. His weapons fit in a little banana crate, which is I think awesome. Nice, cute. It's kitschy, but he's some bank, man. I think he's about $200 or $300.
I said this to my dad yesterday, Jaydee. I said, you know how like they were like, oh, when you get your stimulus, like make sure you're putting it back out, like you're spending it, like don't save it. I said all they had to do was just don't send it to half of America. Send it to me, Jaydee, and Pete. We'll buy all the figures in the world. And we'll get this money back where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about that. Give it to us. We'll spend it.
Hell yeah,
we don't mind.
I remember my favorite one now.
What's your favorite?
And he was the most basic one too. And it's probably because the wolf is my favorite animal. His name was Wolfang. And I remember losing one of his missiles behind one of my heating vents, and that sucked ass. And I lost that one for like years until one day we ripped it out and I did get it back and I put it back where it belonged. But his name was Wolfang. I will show you Wolfang one of these days. He was one of my favorite. He was never in the show, but he was my favorite toy.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming over next week, and I'm gonna keep one. You want to know?
You can keep one of the McDonald ones. I used to keep those too.
Before you got on, I said those are my favorite ones. That's completely fine with me.
Those are the cheap ass ones. Oh my God, you can take one of those.
Very gladly. I might be the only person that's like every toy episode we have. McDonald's, that's my favorite. Like Juwaan, why didn't you get real toys?
I had the McDonald's and what they call it? The food, the fast food Transformers.
Yeah, the burger, the fries.
Yeah, I know.
I love that. I love those.
I don't remember those at all. I'm depressed. I would have gotten them all. Man.
There's an older clip.
Man,
Yeah.
Jay, you're missing out, dude.
I loved McDonald's toys. I'm Googling these right now because
that's
the Big Mac.
Jay. That's what I'm saying. I'd be the only kid. Like, can I go get a Happy Meal? You just ate. No. I don't care about the food.
They don't make toys.
Like, let me just.
They don't.
No.
Yeah.
See, my first introduction to Transformers really was on Toonami with the Armada series. Was kind of what I came up with. Yeah. It was good. It gets passed over a lot, in my opinion, and it had its issues.
Because I think more modern day, I think if you ask someone if they even care, probably in late teens, early 20s, their Transformers cartoon was Prime. That came out maybe close to almost 10 years ago. Had maybe 1 or 2 seasons. It really focused too much on humans for me. That's kind of where I was just like, you're losing me. You know, you're losing me whenever
in between Beast Wars and G1, Transformers kept going in Japan, right? So the bat wasn't Optimus's first animal form. Joel, when it kept going over there, Optimus was a lion. He was known as Lion Convoy. So he transformed and he had the lion head on his shoulder.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was going on for a while over there. They didn't. I don't know why that never ported over here to the States at all. But you know that goes back to the tape trading days. You were able to get some of those episodes back then.
That's pretty cool. I would love that.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, let's head into. We know obviously we've spoken on this before. I think me and Pete have made it clear. We enjoyed the first Transformers movie. That's probably about as much rope as we'll give them. But they have said, obviously, we saw the success of Bumblebee. I thought that was done well. I really, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, anytime someone's like, how'd you like Bumblebee? I'm like, those first 10, 15 minutes are solid. It's like, what about the rest of the movie? You can have it. It's not bad, but my focus is no humans, all Transformers. That's where my focus remains. But you know, obviously the success of that, at some point, I'm sure they'll green light a sequel. But we have heard that the very next Transformers movie that will be in production will be Beast Wars. Will be based off Beast Wars. Sorry. It will be modern day. I don't even know how that makes any sense.
I don't either.
Personally, one of the things I loved about Beast Wars was it was so primal. There were no humans, and I'm like, that's what I want to see. But now, evidently, they're gonna try to do, I guess, some kind of. Let me not say gene splicing. I don't know. Let me not even. I don't know. It just sounds stupid to me. But it's like a good and a bad. Bad because it's modern day. Good because this might be my only time for Beast Wars to get any kind of love from mainstream. So I'm kind of like, But Jay, I want to start off with you. Your thoughts on the Michael Bay franchise, and then your thoughts on where Transformers is going towards the future.
I don't like to be negative, okay? There's too much negativity in the world. It's already been a hard year. So that being said, it mostly sucks. I'm gonna be to find the positive. I do love the original still. Now, to be fair, I've not gone back and watched it as much. It's probably mostly because of Megan Fox, but and Bumblebee is a great, quote, star to the movie. The idea of a boy in his car is cool to me. And then the rest of the movies, like I don't think I've sat through a whole complete one. I saw the second one in theaters and I never went to see another in theaters again until Bumblebee. And the first, I'm not saying anything that no one else hasn't said. The first 10 minutes of Bumblebee, everybody was like, they did it. They finally did it. Yeah. They made the Cybertron war movie we all wanted to see with the look that we wanted for the Transformers. They look like G1 and not like they were made on West Coast fucking choppers or whatever. So great call. I love that. It was a good call for their designs, but then it kind of got back to the roots of, the human story, which I don't really think is that necessary. So I don't really know what the rumors are for the 2022. I looked them up a little bit since we were talking about it tonight. The director Stephen Caple Jr. of Creed 2, and then you've got Joby Harold, who is working with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, handling script duties, and they're saying a 2022 release, and the working title is Beast Alliance. So I think that was just kind of getting back into what you were talking about. It's set in the Bumblebee timeline and was described as a heist film in the 90s, maybe. If I don't, that all sounds like you remember that South Park when they made fun of Family Guy and they showed the manatees like grabbing balls with random stuff on them. It kind of sounds like they put them all together. But that being said, I don't know what else there is to do other than just a straight up animated movie, which probably isn't going to be a big blockbuster. They've kind of done that with Netflix and the latest Transformers War for Cybertron series, which I enjoyed and I loved the look of it. I loved it visually. It felt a little draggy. It felt a little long. At points, I felt like I was a little bored. Watching a War for Cybertron shouldn't be boring, but whatever. I don't know what the best move for the franchise is. I don't have a lot of other than just maybe focusing on the characters of the Transformers themselves, like maybe a whole episode that's or a whole movie that's like an episode of The Office where Megatron is like the Michael Scott and Starscream is assistant to the Decepticon manager.
I would watch that in a heartbeat.
And they keep, they have these little cutaways where Starscream is like, I should be the leader of the Decepticons. Everyone knows it. I have the #1 sales of the quarter.
I'm telling you right now, Jay, as soon as we put this out, they will hear it and they will try to steal this from you. Go get copyright and everything you can.
Go get paid. No, I don't think I can. I don't think I can copyright like the mockumentary style, but a documentary style Transformers workplace film would be a fun.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're copywriting memes now. So make the meme and make some money.
Yeah, like, for sure.
I forget what they're called. RSTs or some shit like that. I don't even know what's going on. NFTs. Thank you. Yeah. I don't even know what the hell's going on with that. That's my comprehension.
You have like Soundwave hiding in the bathroom recording, Megatron sexually harassing. Are there any girl Decepticons? Do they have any?
Yeah, girl Decepticons. Yeah,
I can't even think. I can't think of one right now.
Yeah,
but
I don't think they were necessarily prominent.
Yeah, she's a con, but yes.
Soundwave would probably be in charge of HR because he's just recording everybody all the time, and he's like, "We need to discuss this previous conversation." He's like, "I did not say that." Oh, really? Then, fuck you, recording my.
To your point. I've always viewed Transformers like unfortunately it seems like they view Transformers the same way Warner is viewing King Kong and Godzilla. But the difference is Kong nor Godzilla talk. So the humans are how you get dialogue. So it's like you need the humans, right? With Transformers, they talk. So I'm like right there, it's like, what are the point of the humans? I don't think anyone's ever gone, yo, can't wait to see this dude Bob in the next Transformers movie, man. I heard he's gonna be dope. He's gonna be funny. No. So it's like
I'm sorry. You mean TJ Miller, right? Sorry.
I'm just saying.
Say that out loud.
It's to the point to where it's like, let the focus just be on the Transformers. And to me, they talk about the Great War all the time. Why can't we see the Great War? If the end game is to give us humans, fine, at least earn it. Give us the Great War to show how they get to Earth or why they decide to go to Earth, and then you can do what you want. But I'm telling you, if you give the people that Great War where it's just the Transformers, they won't care what you do after that. It's just like, well, you gave me that. I never thought I'd get it. I'm fine. I'm fine now. But I mean, to me, it's like, I mean, to your point, again, no need to harp necessarily on the negativity side of it, but like I said, that first one, I'll never forget that first one. That was classic. And I will say, you're lucky. You said you saw the first and the second in theaters, and then none else.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Michael Bay tricked me every fucking time.
Hey, you were a loyalist, man.
Yeah.
I
you were a
was,
loyalist, and that's okay.
I literally sat there and I said, you know what? I remember telling my dad each time we went, I'm like, Dad, it can't be worse than that last one they put out. And then it's just like, you got worse? How did you manage that? Like, wait,
yeah.
What? So to me, it's one of those things where it's like, I will always give him credit for that first movie. I thought it was great. I'd even give him a little rope for that second movie. I enjoyed parts of it. I enjoyed the idea of Optimus being able to take on like another Transformer, only for them to never use that again. But I didn't. And in the second one, it started off with Optimus having his trailer. I love that, only again for them to never use it again. But there were just like points in that second movie that I was like, they get it. And then I always thought it was all-time great, the scene where he dies in the woods. All the Decepticons ultimately, I was like, that is Michael Bay gets it. And then you get to like the end battle and you're just like, oh, I spoke too soon. That's right. I just spoke too soon. I get it. But yeah, like I said, I do give him credit for that first one and then half that second one. He did some really cool things with that for sure. But as far as going forward, I don't know, man. Beast Wars is just, I mean, we even see in the cartoon, like you said, Jay, for the Netflix show, it ends with Beast Wars, us going into Beast Wars. So it's like, that's clearly on their mind everywhere. Let's do something with Beast Wars.
And for a lot of people, Beast Wars is Transformers.
Exactly.
So,
that's me.
That's fair. And that's
I'm
fair
just
as well.
saying.
I don't know much about it. I watched Armada, which was very kid-centric. You know, they focused on like, I think Pokemon had a lot to do with it, because they focused on some kids who were a lot like Ash and Gary and whoever, and they had the mini cons, you know, and Megatron had these like antler designs on his head. And I found out they did that because he was supposed to combine with a mini con and make something else, but that got cut. But they left in the antler head. So for years, I just thought that was how Megatron looked, you know.
That's a sick figure too. He transformed into like the tank, and he's got the two up there. I seen that on Wish actually while I was.
It's a cool design in my opinion. Yeah. I like it. It made him look more like in charge, prominent, and powerful. You know,
is that the series where Ultra Magnus had the big axle that turned into a hammer? Or no?
They had the Star Saber, and Bumblebee was Hot Shot for some reason.
Oh shit!
Yeah, well, I know about
that. Oh my god, good call, Jay. He was Hot Shot in that.
I don't know why they just decided he was going to be. They thought Hot Shot was better than Bumblebee, I guess.
Yes, that's why Hot Shot was the promotional piece for War for Cybertron. I have yet to open it. It's still sealed. You know, I don't even know what he looks like. So you mentioned Hot Shot. All I know is, the name right there on it. I don't even know what he looks like.
Well, so it's Hot Shot's box, you know, until you open the box, he is both Bumblebee and Hot Shot in either.
Right. I mean, I always
Schrodinger's Transformer. We're coining that shit right now.
I always said Hot Shot and Bumblebee were kind of like what DC did with Wally and Barry, to where if you grew up on Justice League Unlimited, you only know Wally as your Flash, only to find out, wait a minute, there's a Barry Allen that was a Flash? Like, why did you skip over that? So to a lot of people, they only know Bumblebee. So it's like, Hot Shot, I don't know who the hell that is.
I think you're being generous. It was not as good. It was not nearly as good as that.
That is fair, Jay. That is
fair.
But no, I do have faith. The person that's writing this Beast Wars movie, from everything I'm hearing about what this Obi-Wan Kenobi series is going to be, it's blowing my mind. So if they can bring even a little bit of what's supposed to be in that show to a Beast Wars, I have some faith. But hearing like a heist in Transformers, that does not go together. Like I don't know if I like the idea of that. So
it's the Italian job with Transformers.
Right.
They're all going to be Mini Coopers.
Except with no cars.
Hold on. Was Mark Wahlberg an Italian Job?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, all right. Let's keep anything related to Mark Wahlberg away from Transformers. He's
you know the secret the secret title, right, is Optimus is 11. They go around finding the different Transformers and putting together the team, and they go every time they go up to one, it's like Optimus, you circuit board, I'm in.
How hilarious would it be though if like at a car dealership had like this artifact that they had to find? So like they're infiltrating, it's becoming different cars that are on the lot to try to sneak to get the thing off. That'd be epic. But
that would be resolved in about 2 minutes, but you know.
Knowing the Autobots, they would find a way to make that elongated. Pete, I want to go to you next. Your thoughts on the Michael Bay franchise and then what's to come for Transformers going forward.
I did love the first one because it was the first one, and I hadn't seen Transformers in a while. So when I first heard Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime again, I mean, I was 6 years old sitting in the theater again. I give credit to part 2. I didn't despise it. I thought they did my man Jetfire dirty by making him like an old man, but I liked the nod to, like you said, where he combined with Jetfire to become like the Super Transformer, which, if I'm not mistaken, was a nod to one of the way later Headmaster series that we never got in America, where Optimus Prime can like combine and make it. He became like a combiner of sorts, and I think they called him like God Jinrai or something like that. And I'm sure there's mad Transformers nerds that are gonna get on my case for getting that wrong, but I think I'm right, so I'm not. But either way. I loved the trailer. I was all chromed out and shit in part 3. Like that was all I needed. It was like, give me the trailer. And Shockwave was like one of my favorite guys. So when he showed up and he was like a earthquake machine or something, I was like, all right, going with the name Shockwave, I'll bite, sure. The rest of the movies, like they were just parts. I didn't like the design. There was way too many like moving parts. I never got the toys because going back to take them out of the box, put them on a shelf. I was like, nah, there's no way I'm transforming that. I'll break something in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. There's gonna be way too many fragile pieces in there. But the movies went way downhill real quick by around like halfway through part 3. And the idea of one Unicron being Earth in that last nonsense, that was terrible. Lockdown. Who the fuck is Lockdown? Yeah,
Unicron was Earth.
Unicron is Earth. That was the culmination of the last Transformers: The Last Night, which was a 2.5 hour movie minus the slow mo. Probably should have been an hour and a half. Then it would have been tolerable, but it's still an hour and a half of my life that I can't have back. Like I said, who's Lockdown? Who's he? Why was that giant ass cannon not Galvatron in the first place? Galvatron did not need to be another truck like Optimus Prime. Stupid. So I just trail off after that. As for the future, I mean, I respect Beast Wars for its its place in the mythos. It's not my Transformers. I didn't grow up with it, so I don't have the affinity in my heart for it, but I totally respect its place. And if that's the way they want to go, I'm going to give it a shot. I mean, I'm not going to I'm not watching that stupid shit. I'm going to check it out because why the hell not? But as far as the future goes, I think we had our opportunity at the future of Transformers, and it just kind of fell by the wayside with the death of the Hasbro extended universe because they didn't have a Kevin Feige who could do it. They didn't have a Greg Berlanti with the vision to do it right. It should have been the Transformers arrive, and who do you call after the first Transformers movie when you got these crazy ass robots coming in from outer space? You call the world's most elite fighting force. You call G.I. Joe, and they get some Decepticons and some Autobots on their side. They reverse engineer that shit, and now you've got Mask. I mean, the plot practically writes itself. But
God bless you, Pete. I love that.
I just imagine
you're making me cry, man.
You could even get Rom in there. Rom is a space knight from like another moon of Cybertron or whatever. And then you get the dire rates and shit. I don't know where Supernatural's coming into this or the whatever those other
Visionaries.
guys. Visionaries. Thank you.
Yeah.
That you're on your own for that one. I can't write that part.
That's after the Armageddon of the world falls apart.
I just imagine like the writers at, I believe it's Paramount Pictures, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
There's like the head guy comes in and is like, here's some time-tested and much-loved ideas that the fans, you know, really are drawn toward. And then you got one guy in the corner who's like, I got a shitty idea. And then you got the guy in the other corner who's like 5 tequila shots in. He's like, I can make it shittier. And like, you guys work together. And that's it.
I want to be that guy with the 5 tequila shots in. So at least he's having fucking fun.
I mean, Pete,
Shit, man.
you're speaking the gospel here, man. I think what hurt them in that long run was the 2 G.I. Joe movies just didn't hit.
That was that was it.
They didn't have any cartoons out for G.I. Joe. Like there just wasn't any momentum for G.I. Joe. So it's like once your movies tank, any kid that didn't know G.I. Joe before, damn sure doesn't have any interest now.
And all you had to do was just follow the formula. It's already written. Do the first G.I. Joe 5 episodes. Do the Mass Effect. Do the Pyramid of Darkness. Any one of them is fine. Yeah. And you're gonna get all your characters in. And I mean, let's face it, G.I. Joe is ahead of its time. G.I. Joe is the most inclusive fucking cartoon you could possibly ever. There was everyone. If you, whatever race, creed, color you were, there was a Joe for you. There was probably mad Joes for you, honestly. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Hell fucking yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's like we were saying, the first Transformers was good. At least if we could have hung our hat on the first G.I. Joe movie being good.
Yeah.
We could have said, all right, like that was your moment. But when that flopped and then they followed it up and flopped again, like don't to me personally, and you guys might feel different, don't ever come to me and be like, hey, I'm gonna team Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. No. No.
By like the third movie, you can do it. Be like the progression of their natural storyline in the comics. Yeah, don't do it immediately. Of course, you got to earn.
Yeah. Because to me, that was just weird. Where Storm Shadow was just like, you know what? I hate Cobra Commander too. All right, I'll help. What? Where did it? Like,
that wasn't the story.
like an hour ago, he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill Snake Eyes, and then like after that, he was just like, nah, I'm kind of.
That was actually like I respected that line in Retaliation, which arguably was possibly a better movie than the first one. But when Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes were having that like one-sided conversation, and he's like, you thought that you came after me because I killed our master. You never even asked me. Like, you just assumed. And I'm like, okay, I'll bite, because that's kind of what happened in the comics too. Like, he just went after him.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I will say some of the best parts of G.I. Joe was between Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow.
100%.
The fight at the end of the first one, that mountain fight in the second one, it's like that legit was it. Everything.
Yeah, that's all I cared about.
It was wonky.
Yeah, agreed.
But I'm not a G.I. Joe guy, so imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
breaking my heart.
But time out, Joel. We are G.I. Joe people. We are G.I. Joe people, and we're telling you, like, it was that. It was
I know, but I wanted to like it. I didn't like G.I. Joe growing up, so I went in wanting to like those movies. I saw both of them in theaters. I didn't like either of them. So I was disappointed. And the only person I came out liking was Snake Eyes, because he looks fucking awesome. But aside from that, like, I didn't really care for anybody else. I wish they tried harder, and like, I look forward to this TV show that they're making and the Snake Eyes show. I want to be a fan. I just have never gravitated to me.
Yeah, I'm still wondering where the fuck my Snake Eyes trailer is, but that's the conversation.
Very apprehensive.
That's right. You wanted it last week. That's right.
It's just like, why? I mean, why are we still waiting for this? Like, I think they keep forgetting they don't have an overabundance of fandom or momentum for G.I. Joe. So it's like, get the hype train going, man. Get people excited again.
Build it up again. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Jaydee, I'm gonna go to you. I feel like I know how you feel about the Michael Bay.
Bro, if it wasn't for making Fox, that's it. You know what I mean? So the only good thing to look at, you killed Jazz. Fuck you for killing Jazz.
Yeah,
Megatron was he was a seeker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I got to say. The Netflix series, though, I love season 1 Netflix. Shout out to my homie Brandon Easton, who wrote, I think, 2, maybe 3 episodes of season 1. He also contributed. Yeah, watch your feet as I drop the plug to a couple of stories to my book Shield of the Interceptor. He was not on season 2 because he was prepping Mr. Miracle for DC Comics. So nice. I hope they bring him back for season 3 because I like Jay said, I wasn't too I kind of forced myself through season 2 of the Transformers on Netflix. Other than that, dude, Beast Wars were never my thing. I always felt the CG, whatever animation stuff with those first seasons were just crappy. I think Reboot had better animation than.
Oh no.
Than that, yeah. When they got to Transmetals, though, the quality went through the roof. I thought the quality was really good for Transmetals, but then I was comparing it to Reboot and those first 2 seasons. So Beast Wars never really hit for me, dude.
No, I mean, like I said, I understand that. I mean, it was the conversation me and Joel had to have when we first were, building Geek Vibes Nation, of people that were destroying Teen Titans Go, and it was like, you got to understand though, it wasn't made for you. You know what I'm saying? Like it was made for a different demographic. So it's like, of course you don't like it, because if you grew up on the regular Teen Titans, you looking at them becoming these, hilarious characters that, it's like, this isn't, so for you, Jaydee, I kind of see it to where it's like, what Transformers were for you, Beast Wars was kind of like a right turn from what it was. So yes. I completely understand.
Yeah.
But that's why I tell people there's a difference between the disconnect of when things come out and something actually just being bad.
But you know what? I mean, it didn't work for me, transforming into organic objects when we already had Beast Wars with the Dinobots. That those were my Beast Wars, right? We had Beast Wars with the Predacons. There were animals that transformed into Predacons. So was I a little biased? Was it hard for me to get over that time? Yes. And then also because Beast Wars, I had already aged out. So like you said, I
haven't even opened it yet. It only arrived the other day. Are
you fucking kidding me?
No way.
Holy shit.
Never had it when I was a kid.
Piece, bro.
No. Fuck no. $100. That's not the official Feral Rex. That's the Jinbao oversized Feral Rex, which arguably is better because it's bigger and it's way less money.
Third party one. Okay.
Yeah. $100, man. That's my Devastator back there too. Like, if I'm gonna get one, I'm gonna get an oversized combiner, of course.
So what's the difference? The only thing is they don't have the emblem on it.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the the official seal, and you can just buy stickers.
Yeah.
And
$100, man, money well spent.
I will say, Jaydee, to your point of view, saying not really being a fan of them transforming into like organic beings, it's kind of how I felt watching the cartoon on Netflix, knowing that they had never been to Earth, but yet they could transform into cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
I still have it.
Well, I mean that was because Vector Sigma like looked around the world and like saw that, okay, we're gonna model these cars, and then it like when
they explained that, Pete, or are you deducing?
No. They like that happened, and I think it was like the first episode. They landed on Earth, and then 5 million years later, they woke up, or Vector Sigma woke up, and like one Transformer woke up, and like he like turned on the computer, and then they were, it was scanning all of these different vehicles, reconfigured, to kind of change their structure, their look, so that they could blend in.
To be fair, that does explain it, Pete. But the reason why it still doesn't make sense, the only reason they transform in the cars on Earth was to blend in.
Right.
There's no need to blend
in. The only reason I know that is because, and if nobody out there knows about this app called Tubi, Tubi, it's a free streaming service. Yep. And I've been watching Transformers Generation 1 like just for the last 3 weeks. It's great.
Yeah, man.
Wouldn't it just be easier to say that Transformers looked like cars and such, and that humans saw them like Henry Ford and modeled our cars off of the Transformers, not the other way around?
That is a great retcon, and I'm amenable to that.
I'm cool with that.
Pete's like, I will take that.
Yeah. You know, I've said this before. There are Transformers that take an earlier classic approach. There's Optimus Prime as a locomotive. You know, there's Starscream as a biplane. So yeah, you'd see it like that, Jay.
I would be totally amenable to like a 19 ends Transformers.
Like a steampunk kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, we're making Paramount way too much money here. We got
Who's we? Who's we, man? Who's we?
Someone from Hasbro Takara is watching this right now, and they're like, "Yo,
of course,
yeah, that's great.
Good idea.
I'm telling you, Pete. Tomorrow we're gonna hear like from Variety, like, they have thoughts of combining GI Joe and Transformers, and Pete's gonna go, God damn it! I knew it. I knew they were listening. I knew it.
Listen. Keep listening, because that was always the idea, and then they dropped that ball hard like a bowling ball. They dropped that.
What was that piece? Did anybody was anybody able to identify that piece that I shared in the group chat?
No. Do you want me to share that on like some Transformers groups that I'm in? See if anybody knows it.
Yeah, man. Because I don't know what that's from, man.
Me neither.
Yeah,
it's a Transformer. It got the colors of Hot Rod, but it has an open canopy, so you could fit 1/18 scale figures in it. And it's like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, no, I was lost. Before we head out of here, I want to go over a few things, and I want to give Jay a chance to plug himself. I want to go around just whatever you're collecting. Could be games, cards, figures, comics, whatever. I want to go around and see what's something we've been like kind of like on a kick of collecting. I just randomly, Joel, this will speak more to you. I just downloaded Jedi Fallen Order. I had never played it. I had only watched the cutscenes.
Awesome.
I'm playing it now, and I love Cal Kestis, right? So when I went to Amazon to buy the game, I saw that they have a 6-inch figures. I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. So I bought it, and then like, you know how like when you go to Amazon, right underneath like the description, it says you could also get 2 more people to make it like $100. And I was just like, you're not gonna trick me. But then they were like, don't you want an Inquisitor to go with Cal? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I got an Inquisitor to go with Cal. And then of course I had to get my boy Kylo Ren. So I went out and got Kylo Ren, no mask, but with the scar. So I went out and got him with his Big Daddy cape draped around him. I'd fuck. You know what it is, Joel? We've been wanting that for Batman for so long. I swear, all I saw was the cape draped around. I didn't even know who the figure was, and I'm gonna buy it.
It's so cool looking, and they don't do it. It bothers me. But whatever.
It's a beautiful aesthetic. Like, it just is. It makes them look a little scarier. But also, Joel, you brought up that Gargoyles is doing figures.
That looks hot, dude.
Yes.
That is game changing, man. I think I've been waiting my entire life for that.
I'm picking that up. What's retail on that?
$25, $30, something like that.
Oh,
what?
That's it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Go on Entertainment Earth. You can probably get it on NECA.com too. NECA probably got it unless they sold out already.
Somebody called Joe Biden. We need another stimmy.
You know, I'm not a fan of NECA at all. This is gonna be my first NECA piece, so I'm on them, man.
What's your beef with NECA?
Dude, I've never been a fan of NECA. It just, you know, my jam has always been 1/18 scale. NECA, you know, from what I remember, they started off with a lot of the horror figures, and the horror figures were oversized. Right. That was never for me, you know. Okay. So the Ninja Turtles, you know, that everybody's going crazy for. Right. I'm not a big Ninja Turtles mark. Had NECA done, you know, Superpowers or who's doing the Defenders of the Earth? Is that NECA too, or no?
I think that is NECA, actually.
So. Okay, so I may be jumping onto that. Do you guys know what Defenders of the Earth is?
Oh man, Phantom.
I know what it is. Yes.
I want to see Mandrake too.
Man. Yeah. You know, Flash Gordon with the
I hated Flash
Gordon.
Band
shoulder pads.
It's okay, bro.
Jaydee, I actually go to you. What are some of the things you've been collecting recently?
So, you know, I was jumping off again. You know, 1/18 scale is my jam. So those new Marvel,
Look at those pants.
mini pieces. I'm into them. But other than that, dude, like I was trying to get into the classified Joes, can't find them anywhere, and I'm having more fun picking up old, 25th anniversary style figures. Finding that, doing
Wait, Jaydee, did you see the 2-pack of that?
Yeah, that's with the Hardmaster.
Yes.
Yeah,
with,
in red. In red.
Yes, the white bandana. Yeah.
Yep. So I got that. He's just over there. So I've been picking up that stuff and I've been doing, thrift store finds, dude. For me today, I showed Pete. I don't know if I showed you guys. I think I showed you guys. So I found this classic, O-ring G.I. Joe crystal ball figure, out in the wild, man. Great condition, and I found them at a thrift store. So I'm having more fun finding stuff in the wild than trying to get up early enough to go to Target or Walmart before these other people get there and come out with bushels of things, dude. And I'm just like, I'm not getting up there early. Fuck that. I'm not going to compete with you bastards. It took the fun out of it for me.
I always said there should be a rule. You know how like when this whole pandemic first started, you could only have like 2 paper towels, 2 things of water.
Yeah.
I'm like, Target should start doing that with figures, man. I shouldn't look and see a guy with a cart full of a whole aisle that I now can't get.
Dude,
walking out with
it's amazing.
Aisle.
Yeah,
at least I would know that the friggin' Target had the shit if I seen a guy. My shit just don't got nothing.
No, but you sent me links on that app that said, okay, it should be there, right?
Right.
And Pete sent me the thing, at 10 o'clock at night. So Target is closed. It opens up. It is literally right behind me. They open up at 7:30. I'm there and it's not there. It's not in the shelf. It's not in the reshop section. You talk to them and they're like, so it's like, why am I going to waste my fucking time? And then you look over to the side at checkout and you see 25 guys waiting for them to roll out packs of Pokemon cards. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
Yeah, I will say the one thing I look back now and feel bad about when I used to work at Target. People would call and go like, hey, you guys got the new Star Wars figure? And I would just go, no. And then I would go into the back and then pull out boxes and just go, oh shit, you have it. like, he's now probably going to search the earth and not find it. And we did have it, but I didn't feel like looking at the time.
That's why when I found that Baby Yoda, I said, it's for me. I'm going to tease Juwaan because I found it at Target. Right?
You know what? You know what you're doing to me, Jaydee? They have
what's
a
up?
6-inch Mando with the removable head. And it comes with Grogu and the little incubator thing. And since I can't find Grogu,
what did you just say?
Whatever it is, I said incubator. You know what I meant.
No. What's his name?
Grogu.
Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Grogu.
Baby fucking Yoda. That's what his name is.
I will say that's hilarious because it's like, remember when Mando found out his name was Grogu and they were back in the ship and he just kept saying his name and Grogu's like, what, man? Like, god damn. Like, this is why I didn't tell you. Like, god.
I'm not playing with the ball anymore, you bastard.
Oh man, I can't wait for that show to come back. But all right, Pete, I'm gonna pass it on to you. What have you been collecting recently?
I mean, I'm always looking for like Golden Age comics. I've moved kind of past Silver Age, and I've gone to just sexual innuendo covers, like Archie stuff. I love like funny Archie covers, and I'll send you guys some examples. Truthfully, any I know I'm gonna sound like a dick for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Any racist covers, like shit that you damn well know you cannot get away with printing in this day and age. Yeah, I'm buying that in a heartbeat. I love that shit because it's just.
You mean Will Eisner's Spirit, who they named the big award after? Sorry.
Yeah, man. Sorry. Yeah, I have the first issue of that, and oh man, oh wow, I could not believe what I was seeing.
Shit.
Yeah,
bad shit. Yeah.
I mean the like for an example, the EC Comics cover of Shock Suspense Stories. I want to say it's number 4. The most famous one is Shock Suspense 22, where he's got the decapitated head of the woman. But there's the KKK style cover of the dudes in the red hoods, and they're about to burn the woman that's like tied up. Like that's an unsung fucking hero of the, you know, of the holy shit, I can't believe they printed that era. Like, I love them books, man.
Well,
like,
they didn't abide by the
they
comics
did
code.
not. And
Right.
that's half the reason that the comics code came about, was because of them.
Right.
But you know, comics aside, I've been diving head first into Transformers Masterpiece stuff, and I've been loving it. Aside from, like, you know, random pop figures here and there, and I do want to give a quick shout out to NECA, because all of the asshole scalpers, sorry, not Skypers. We're kind of Skyping right now. All of the asshole scalpers bought that Super Shredder figure. I'm not a huge Ninja Turtles guy, but I love Shredder. Shredder was my guy, and I wanted that Super Shredder. And yo, it sold out in seconds, and then it was on eBay for like $150. I'm like, no. NECA seen this, and they're like, we're just gonna re-release it. So screw all of you guys. And they re-released the shit at like $25. And yeah, it took me like 4 months for it to come in the mail, but I finally got it. And I applaud NECA for that. Like, just seeing what was going on in the aftermarket, being cognizant of it, and saying, no, we're not tolerating that. Like, this is our money for a regular price. You guys are not gonna be scalping it for 5 times the price unless we're doing it. So that aside, but yeah, I've dove headfirst into Transformers Masterpiece, and I got a couple more here. Like, I mean, Ultra Magnus is a big boy, man. He's like,
God damn.
Yeah, he's big. He's big. And I never had a G1 of this when I was a kid, but I did manage to get the Fan Toys Phoenix, aka Skyfire, and I found some dude on Etsy that can 3D print the old school helmets for you, because he's just kind of wearing the helmet.
Oh my god!
I showed my friend that. She's like, "So you bought your Transformer a hat?" I was like, "Yes, I did."
And I would do it.
You got to send me that link.
I will send it to you, man. It's for only $30. It's absolutely 100% worth it. But now that's another guy. I struggled with him to just. He kind of comes half transformed and half not. So it's like you can go either way to jet mode or robot. And I'm trying to get him into robot mode. And yo, I had to use a spoon to like wedge pegs into things. I'm going to break this shit and I'm going to lose my mind.
Right.
Thankfully, thank Odin, I didn't. But nonetheless,
thank Odin.
Again, I have to go back, Juwaan. You're 100% right. Just out of the box, on a shelf, done. But the highlight of this whole experience for me has been not the MP44, because that $500 is out of my price range at this point, but the TE1 Freedom Leader, I think it is. Yo, this is the most cartoon accurate Optimus Prime I have ever seen.
Nice.
It is $100.
That mouthpiece is so.
Yo, it's pretty. So nice. He actually comes with 2 heads, so one could look like the toy and one can look like the cartoon. And he's got the Matrix of Leadership in here. He doesn't have that stupid backpack that MP44 has, and I know there's the sound chip in there because he talks and everything. But like, I don't care about that.
The MP44 is the one that fits the GI Joes.
No, he does not. That's MP1. That's like the big one that the original ones that they were doing. Doesn't have all like they call it kibble in the back, where like all the seal, all the things are sealed up and everything.
Nice.
There's no open spots. For $100, you cannot go wrong. I had it shipped in from China. I'll send you guys the link. It's great. It took like a month to get here, but whatever.
Yeah.
Pete, I was waiting to show you this. I did it. We talked about it last episode with Tia. I did it.
Yes.
I did it.
I love it.
I had to. I got that, and then I found this. Joe, I was curious if you knew who they were. I only know Psylocke, but I also got this.
Whoa, what is that?
Oh yeah, definitely do. Phantom X and
I like that.
Nimrod.
What's that? Nimrod, yo.
Nimrod, yeah.
What? That's a Marvel Legends, Juwaan?
Yeah, and he comes with removable head.
That is
nice.
Oh,
Nimrod,
look at that
baby.
Back piece that comes off.
Oh,
Wait, was that based off of the most recent storyline, Power of X?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was Power of X. Yeah.
What does that shit go for these days?
That was actually, hold on one second. It was pretty cheap, if I'm being completely honest with you. It was what I'm about to show you that was just like, all right, you guys didn't need to be that expensive. Like that was a little too much. This was, let me see, order details. This was just $59.74.
That's great.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
Yo, $20 a figure. I mean, how do you beat that?
Damn right.
I think I showed you guys before from Deadpool 2. Got Cable.
Nice.
I got Deadpool himself. And then my favorite, because I didn't even know that they had this. They have the Magneto and Xavier with removable heads, so you could do the newer movies or the older movies.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
cool.
For the wheelchair?
Nice. I like that.
So wait, they come with different heads for like McAvoy and Stewart and Fassbender and McKellen. That's great.
They come with the different faces. And what I thought was hilarious was, well, first of all, they also.
Hey, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
His little wheelchair.
I was hoping.
The funny.
Juwaan, you're missing the other two packs, bud.
Which one?
The old man Logan with the Hawkeye and the baby Hulk.
Let me tell you this. I bought it and then I canceled it. I canceled it because I regret it now. I do, but there was another Wolverine that I thought was better, and then I got it and I was like, oh, I don't like it.
No, dude.
The other 2-pack is the Old Man Logan with Charles, and then the literal Old Man Logan comic version with Hawkeye.
Right.
These are the heads. So those
nice.
Wow, that's cool.
And then there's the other one, the Storm and Warpath.
Yes.
I'm not Warpath, Thunderbird. Excuse me.
No, I know what you meant. I got that in my cart. I got it.
I get that
nice.
too.
I also had to, because I had to get Zazie Beetz'
Zazie. Way to go, baby.
Did you shoot your shot, man? Did you?
That flick, man.
Did you ask her out for pizza?
Bro, let me tell you, we're in the circuit, right? So there's like 5 of us interviewing them. They legit get to like it's 2 of us left, me and this other chick. They legit go, all right, one more question. And then like I'm looking at her about to ask it, and then like the press team comes in, nope, sorry, we gotta go. And I was just like, why? Like I only spoke to Robert Kirkman that day, and I'm like, to somebody I'm sure they're like, oh, that's great. To me, over Zazie, absolutely not.
I'm hurt for you, man.
Absolutely not. But yeah, this also came with Negasonic.
Oh, okay, nice.
Also came with Negasonic. But yeah,
had just to let you know, had she said yes to you, Pete, Joel, and I would have accidentally on purpose bumped into you.
Yeah, no, totally. We would have been asking for all sorts of details, like,
bro,
yo, man, like, where you taking her? Yo, like, you gotta take us someplace nice, and we just happen to be there.
when I tell you guys, I'm listening to the questions people are asking her, and I'm like, oh wow, those are good questions. I was just gonna ask if she was doing anything later. Like, I didn't have anything else.
And she'd have respected that. Be like, yo, everybody asking you questions about the movies and shit. I just want to know what you're doing tonight, honey.
He was gonna ruin his journalistic integrity.
You know what I found out? She is indeed engaged, I believe.
Man,
sorry.
No. That is a defeatist attitude. What does he have that you don't?
That's right.
Money, Pete.
That's right.
Valid point.
No.
You can't tell Zazie Beetz that you're going to Olive Garden for dinner.
No. I would, as an Italian, I would never allow you to go to Olive Garden. I would tell you to come here and I'll fucking cook for you first.
Yeah. You make your own meals, Juwaan. Come on.
True, and I do cook, so yeah, I could have done that. Yeah, that's that.
Oh yeah.
All right. To close this out, I'm gonna go to Joel. Then Jay. Joel, what have you been collecting? I know you just got the Ghost of what's the name of that game?
Ghost of Tsushima.
There you go. That they're adapting into a movie, right?
Yes, they are. I just recently bought that, but I don't collect video games. I buy them to play them. It's not like they collect.
Well, no, I mean, no. The question I was kind of opening up: anything you've been collecting, or anything you just got, whatever you got that you're really enjoying.
Yeah, I don't really collect anything in particular. I'm not a big clutter person, and that's my issue because my fiance hates that I don't decorate my desk. Like we used to work together, and it was very clean. Nothing on my desk, barely, just like my stapler and stuff, like little stuff. And once she just started throwing shit on my desk until it was like full of shit. And like, I'm like, I like it clean, but she loves the just like throwing shit. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever, okay. That's her little thing, and that's the one thing we fight over. But I do, like, obviously I used to collect Beast Wars and all that extra shit, but what I really want to start doing eventually, I'm obviously not rich, so I can't really afford to do it, but I really love Hot Toys, like, a lot. And the problem is they're really expensive. And I want to collect them for my superhero movies. I really love seeing them adapt the costumes to live action. And they do a really good job with the detail in the Hot Toys, like really good. And I really want to do that, but the problem is, I would literally have to it's like 300 a piece almost, and some are even more. Some are like 600, some are like it's just insane. And I'm eventually gonna do them, but I have no idea when. And I gotta pick the right one. And I want to like a display case. I don't want to just throw it around. I want like a case, and they can be together, and like even if it's a wall, I would have a whole wall where like I got a top row of Marvel or DC or whatever, and then maybe my anime, and like I want to do that one day, but I just can't afford it right now.
Yeah, I see $20,000 flying out your front
Hot
door.
Toys add up fast. Joel, I'm curious, man, if you had to pick just one right now, like let's say somebody's going to get it for you for Christmas or whatever, which one would it be?
Oh, it's so hard.
I know.
Oh my oh my god. I guess I'll go with, because I love the design, I'll probably go with maybe the Endgame Iron Man or one of the two. I love the design of the armor in those movies, and then all the little pieces that come with it. That'll probably be my first piece, because that's the last armor he ever wears. So like in honor of Tony Stark, I would get the last armor he wore, and I would love to display that out there. And then eventually maybe do that with Captain America and then move on like that.
Yeah, I've been talking
very cool.
I've been talking to AJ a little bit, and he mentioned this a while ago about Hot Toys. I definitely put money aside for when they do the Hot Toy for Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Well,
that's going to be my first purchase. That's 100% my first purchase.
What's a Batman? What's a Batman? Is that popular?
Yeah.
Well known.
Yeah. By the way, Jaydee, you had me dying yesterday with you talking about Batman wearing a Batman. Jaydee was just like, yeah, man, like, enough with this Batman. It's like, but you're wearing Batman, Jaydee.
You gotta appreciate the irony of the moment, bro. Come on.
Oh man, I laughed for maybe a good hour after I left you guys last night. Jay, to round us out for the night, what's some things you've been collecting or just enjoying doing?
So collecting, I don't think I've collected a ton of them, but I've been into Masters of the Universe lately with Pops. Nice. And then the line of toys they've been selling retail again, kind of the reissues of the classics. I don't have any of them here with me. They're at my office, but here in arm's reach, I do have a few things I can show you guys. From your Nickelodeon days, the some would call it short-lived and underappreciated show, Real Monsters did have a short toy line, and my favorite character was Ickis from that show. Yes. He had the action with the eyes and the teeth. Nice. And of course, anybody that knows me, I wrote the wrestling comic Over the Ropes, and I love wrestling stuff. My first figures I got with the lines that were going at the time, you had your WCW and your WWF. I wanted Kane really badly, and I got that Kane from WWF. Nice. And then these are how the WCW guys looked at the time. Yeah, there's a flare.
But wait, hold on, Jay. You know what I always thought was funny about the bodies of those wrestlers? Like, look how wide the body is, but how built the abs are. Like, that's not how we look, guys. like it's one or the other. Like,
and you would in Kane's action is jerking off.
Jerking off.
That's why he's the big red machine. And then you have some other lines of toys that I don't know if they were exactly based on anything, but I like to keep this one around. It's a free one. it's a Doomsday Toy.
Got that. That's a
Yeah.
great.
You got that one?
That's a great
It is.
Doomsday.
That is
I always thought it was a
Shit.
good Doomsday. I
Yep.
picked it up. It came in the package with the Hunter Prey Superman figure.
Yeah. We had the straps around his body. Yep.
And a comic book came with it, and I thought it was just a great toy. The whole package, everything, the figure, the 2 toys. I don't know that it wasn't tied to Superman the animated series, but and I don't know that it was actually tied to the comics either. It was kind of doing its own thing.
No, it was.
It
That-
was,
that-
and it
that-
wasn't, because it had its own comic book that seemed to be in its own continuity. Anyways, all that being said, and one last thing, it's a show that we didn't really mention, but it was kind of on about the same time as Armada. I built these model kits, but I would pick up the figures when I could. Zoids.
Yes.
And I had a Liger Zero.
Yes.
Doing his version of thing. I was a big fan of Zoids. I have to be careful because it's only one letter off from Zords, and then it's Power Rangers, and it's a whole other thing. But
my only issue, Jay, was I love the Zoids, but I was like, you should never have anything that has a go in something that's that tiny, because you'll blink and it's gone. And that was the only thing I hated about the Zoids. I'm like, you could have made the Zoids a little bigger, so I could have had like a little bigger of a figure to put in the Zoid. That thing was like a little Pez. But the Zoids itself were great. That's the exact one that I had.
I built, and I liked building the models. I built a few of them. They haven't survived, of course, but I remember building the Command Wolf, and then my personal favorite was the Blue Shield Liger.
Yeah.
I was a fan of that. So good times with that. They weren't as hard to build as Gundams. I've tried to build a Gundam. I never made it past the legs. My fingers got too sore. But the Zoids were a little friendlier to build. But otherwise, I've been collecting comics because I have to collect them for work and series and writing things. I'm doing a lot of work this year with Zenoscope Comics, and I've been collecting a lot of their series, some digital and some paper copies. If you've checked out some of their titles, the Tales of Terror Quarterly is a great kind of a Tales of the Crypt style freeform horror anthology they run. The previous one was 4 individual stories, and I've written the next one coming out on April the 7th, so it's just right around the corner. It's going to be called H.H. Holmes, based on the American serial killer from the 1800s and his murder hotel in Chicago. So
when is that coming out? Because I love that shit.
April the 7th, it's going to be in shops. The release date was 3/31, and then just mail being what it is, it got pushed April the 7th. So I think the digital's still going to be available 3/31. But ask you if you're wanting to get the paper copy, it's only $8.99 for 72 pages.
That's great.
Oh,
We had 2 different art teams work on this book, put it together really fast. I was amazed. It's one art team did scenes taking place in the past. The other team did scenes taking place in the present. Some initial reviews so far.
That's cool. So there's like a dynamic shift, so you can tell what's what. That's dope.
Well, they had to work together with it to make them, be their own thing, but still flow together, because you got to see how they come together in the end.
And you wrote it?
Yeah. I'm
awesome.
the author.
I'm checking that. Not for nothing. Me and my mother watched the ID Discovery murder shows, and there was one whole special that they did on H.H. Holmes. And
then I watched. I don't think I watched that one. I did watch his documentary on Prime. Amazon Prime has a pretty good documentary, and websites going for images. Everything that he does in the books up to the point when we get to the fantasy part is stuff that he actually did. So if you watch that, it's going to be familiar, but you'll get to see it in a comic book form.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, he was a sick bastard.
Yes,
so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I would like to hear what all you guys think, please. So let me know.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Jay, let everyone know where they can find you so they can stay up to date.
Best place is to go to jaysandlin.com, JAYSANDLIN. jaysandlin.com. You can see releases, sign up for my newsletter, episodes of my podcast, Geekopedia. New episodes are posted there every Friday morning. And we just, we have a good time. Next time I'll have you guys on my show to talk toys or whatever,
Sounds good.
For sure.
Absolutely. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Pete. I joined Pete and the guys last night. We talked a little bit of Snyder Cut. Jaydee, you finally last night experienced what Joel has been for like the past 4 years. And it's my obsessive need to theorize everything. Joel, when I tell you Jaydee was just like, can we hang up on Juwaan? Like,
I got scared when you blinked out. I was like, oh man, was I too hard on Juwaan? I was like, is it my fault he left? Fuck.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Trust me, it could never be meaner than Joel.
Joel, everybody wanted to say something. And Joel was like, no, wait, but I got another theory. No, wait.
It's just, I have to like ignore it sometimes. I just want
Bro, he pulled out a list. I was like,
we're gonna get you help, Juwaan. We are.
It'll never happen. Because I legit said after WandaVision, I'm done with this. And I saw like the first 10 minutes of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I was just like,
I'm back on.
One of these days, you're just gonna join in one of these podcasts, and you're gonna just be like mainlining to the television. And like, how did you even do that? I don't understand what's happening.
You know what, Pete? I'm gonna tell you this: the day one of my theories comes true, I will be the most annoying human being on Earth.
I'm more scared for the opposite, where you're hoping for one of these theories to come true. You're like, it's gotta happen now. It's gotta happen now. It's gotta happen now. And then
I think that already happened. I think that already happened, man. Like, I don't think you could be. Juwaan could not be more heartbroken than Mephisto not showing up in WandaVision. Like, that hurt him on like a
he was the stalk. He's the stalk.
Yeah.
It hurt my heart, man. I don't think anything in life will hurt me as much as that.
I had to text his ass like, yo, you okay, man? Like before the show and shit.
But huge shouts out to Pete and Jaydee for the invite. Make sure you guys stay tuned for Marvel Cinematic Review this Saturday night, 8 p.m. Our YouTube page, Geek Vibes Podcast. Where we'll all get together and break down the newest episode. For the event of the second episode, I had to bring back Cap.
Whoa.
I had to bring back Cap. I had to bring in Falcon.
That's dope.
And also, by the way, this is what's really dope. You could take off.
Oh, God, you killed him. Oh, I thought you took his head off.
No.
The glasses?
No, that's Red Wing.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very cool.
And then of course, the two of them aren't complete without Bucky. So make sure, Joel, make sure you guys stay tuned for an all-new episode this Saturday. Guys, this was a great episode. I want to thank Jay so much for joining us for this episode. All of us got your website down. I saw Pete writing it down. He's definitely sold.
Well, website, and that has all my social media. So make sure you hit me up on Twitter and Instagram as well, because I really want to hear what you think about this story, especially you, Pete, since you watched it on the ID channel.
Yeah, man, I'm in.
This is going to be like ID channel meets the Winchesters.
Nice.
Right.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Real life scares me, so I can't watch like Dateline and shit like that.
I
don't often have nightmares, but that shit'll trigger it. so
Hotel Cecil, baby. Get the Hotel Cecil. Nice.
But all right, guys, we will be back next week. Maybe next week we'll do horror movies. That's definitely a world I would love to get into a little bit.
We could talk about the worst horror. Well, excuse me, the scariest horror movie of them all, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Scariest movie of all time. A kid eats candy and he dies.
That's it.
Fucking, I don't care. That premise, scariest flick ever.
For sure. And we so if we do horror movies next week, we'll definitely talk about the best horror movie ever, and that's definitely Leprechaun in the Hood. But that's all we got for you guys.
I need to just while we're in the week's worth of interim, please look up Hood of the Living Dead.
Hood of the Living Dead.
You're welcome in advance.
Okay. Because I always hold Jason X where I hold
Jason X is amazing.
In the Hood. Because to me, no one's ever died better than putting two chicks in a sleeping bag and just hitting them with each other.
The liquid nitrogen scene is the greatest death scene in all of horror movies.
Listen, Jason Takes Manhattan. I don't care. Nobody else ever tried to shoot the fade with Jason.
Right. and he regretted it. All right, so this is definitely the conversation for next week. Now I'm answering.
We can maybe pitch my book, my horror zombie book.
Let's do it.
Let's nice.
The world. Yes.
There you go.
Zombies don't exist in New York. There we go, baby.
Let's do it. So clearly, that's what we're opening with next week.
Love it.
Jaydee's gonna intro us with his comic. So clearly, you guys hear that the horror movies we have on tap are not good ones. But make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you all so much. Thank you again, Jay, and we will see you guys same time, same place next week. So then,
peace, everybody.
See you next time.
Hello.